Hi, I'm Melody,
And I'm Candy.
and you're listening to
Quirks, Bumps.
And Bruises.
On today's Quirks, Bumps, and Bruises, it's going to be a game show. And I have some good questions that you can play along with. And I'm going to be asking Melody because there are things from the 70s.
Well, I can't ask you. You weren't even born yet.
That's right.
In the 70s.
So this is all you, girl. Never have I ever 70s edition.
So if you were born in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, or 70s,
You can play.
you can play. Mm-hmm. You can't play, Candy. So,
No.
all right.
And I'm okay with that.
You're okay with it.
Okay.
I resemble that remark.
Never ever have I owned a mood ring.
I have owned one. So with mood rings, do you even know what that is,
I
Candy?
do. I'm surprised this was in the 70s because this was a huge thing.
Oh, it was huge in the 70s.
I have one. Still.
Now you have one?
I do.
And you put it on your finger, and depending on your mood, it changes colors.
Yes, which is not good when you're in a fight with your husband or when you're trying to hide your feelings about
And it turns
something.
red?
Right. Have you ever done the YMCA dance? YMCA.
Yes.
I have too.
Yeah, that's like a thing. Even now, that's a thing. But that became popular in the 70s.
So, number 3, I don't even know what this is. Is it spirograph? Spirograph?
I think it's, yes, I think it was like, if I'm right, it was like a template, like a plastic template. And you could put your pencil in it and you could go along the paper and make all these interesting designs. I think that's what that is.
Did you ever have one?
I've done it. I can't remember if I actually had one or if I just used somebody else's, but I have done it.
A wall telephone.
Oh, I still have one.
A lot of people don't realize that telephones used to come on walls.
I know. In our basement, we have the first telephone that we had when we got married 36 years ago.
And it works.
Yeah, it works great. And we keep it on the wall downstairs just to have a phone down there. My parents both have always said they just like me having a landline phone. Mm-hmm. And so we just kept one for that reason. And it's kind of nostalgic now.
Yeah. What color is it?
It's kind of a tan color.
Table trays. Is that what you used to like pull out when you would eat dinner?
Like TV tray?
Yeah, TV dinner trays.
I still have a set of those.
Do you use them?
We use them when we have a whole lot of people over and we can't maybe sometimes get everybody at the table.
That's so funny.
But now they used to be kind of this aluminum.
And they fold.
And they fold up, but they were kind of cheap, honestly. Mm-hmm. The ones I have now, I mean, they're not that expensive, but they're wood.
Oh, so a little classier, huh?
A little classier.
Number 6, I don't even know what this is. A clacker?
Clackers were, you do know, a lot of people would put them on their desk at work or whatever, and you would take one side and the other side, and they would clack back and forth.
No.
I think you may know once you see what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. What is it?
Yeah. But you could also have the kind that sit on the desk and would go back and forth.
Well, my mother-in-law has some of those, and the boys like to play with it.
Yes.
I did not know that's
It's supposed to be like at the time when they were talking about them, a great stress releaser. You know, now they have the spinner things. What are they called now?
Fidget spinners.
Fidget spinners. Mm-hmm. Well, back then it was the clackers, and it was supposed to kind of relieve tension.
That's funny.
It got on my nerves. Because, I mean, those things are loud.
They are. Silly putty.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, that's still a thing. Hunter came home the other day from school with some.
Yeah, but I think probably what they're saying in the 70s when this stuff became really popular. Yeah.
Pop Rocks candy.
Oh, yeah.
You open the bag.
And when you put it in your mouth, it pops.
That was around in the 70s?
Yes. I think Noah started it.
Photo booths. Did that start in the 70s?
I don't know if that started in the 70s, but that was a thing. When I was in high school in the 70s. Oh, my goodness. And in the late 70s. And that was a thing. You get in the photo booth with your friends, you know. And now, as you know, that's probably a multi-million-dollar business now because people take photo booths to weddings and conferences and different events. So photo booths are big again.
Sea monkeys. Are these the little plastic aquariums?
Now that I'm not sure what it is.
I'm going to Google it. So these are making a comeback. I had these when I was in school. I loved them. They're like, they called them Instant Pets, and they have like fish and different things that you can do too. But they're really neat. Like you put water in them and then they grow. It's just fun.
I never did that. Never
Really?
had those. No, never did that.
A Polaroid camera.
Absolutely. Of course.
How did they? I'm still amazed at how they can do Polaroid instant films. It comes right out. How can you do that?
And you know they're making a comeback.
No, I didn't.
Like a lot of things that were so cool, like cassette tapes and things like that back in the 70s, are making these big comebacks now for your age. Y'all find them very entertaining, I think. So yeah, you take the Polaroid, you could take it right away, and you'd have to wait just a little bit, and it would you'd see the picture begin to happen before your very eyes.
Which is so funny. I love it. Number 12, shag carpeting.
Oh, mine was purple.
Purple?
I loved the color purple. No pun intended with the movie. I loved the color purple, and my walls were kind of a lavenderish, deep lavender, and then I had purple shag carpet. In my mom and dad's basement right now, and it was my brother's room because he moved downstairs. He was the oldest, so he got to move downstairs. And in that room to this day, right now, my daughter loves it. Like, she just loves it. It is lime green shag carpet.
The entire floor?
He kept it in there.
That is funny.
And it's making a comeback. Like, people are loving shag again.
Oh, wow. Melody, I know that you have on this because you've been in music your whole life. Cassette tape recorders.
Oh, yes, of course.
It's so funny because CDs were big when I was little, and now that's a thing of the past.
Honey, I go back to the 8-track tape.
Oh, my.
And when I was like in middle school and stuff, it was 8-track tapes. And then we went to cassettes. We thought that was just like, wow, And then we went to CDs, and that was even like, that's the coolest. And now everything's digital, What is it going to be? It ain't going to be long before we can like just snap our fingers and the band that you want to hear will disappear.
Amen. Roller skates.
Oh, of course you went roller skating. Although I was bigger into ice skating.
Ooh.
And we had a place downtown. It was called Beneath the Elms. And every Saturday I would go and ice skate with a bunch of my friends. So I was more into ice skating. And I got kind of good.
Really?
I don't mean Olympic good, but I could do some twirls.
Pet rocks?
Oh, yeah. That was just a thing. That was ridiculous, but it was a thing. And you just bought really decorated types of rocks, and you would just put the rock like on your desk. They could be painted for anything you wanted them to be. They could be colorful. They could have a face on them.
So during the pandemic, something I discovered, maybe that had been a thing a long time, but we painted rocks. And we would go and like hide them, put them out places. Is that what that kind of is? Like the same, like you paint a rock and... Yeah,
you could paint them or you could buy them. They came in boxes. I mean, it was like a thing.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, it was like a thing that you could... Yeah. Somebody made a fortune off of taking a rock and...
No kidding.
Making it look cute.
Okay, I love these lava lamps.
Oh, yes. And my daughter still has one in her room.
Does she?
Yeah.
I love it.
When she got married and moved out, I kind of kept her room as a guest room, but it's so pretty. I mean, it's a really beautiful lava lamp, and we kept it. So if you ever stay in our guest room, you'll feel like you're in the 60s and 70s. Yeah.
Tube socks.
Oh, tube socks were a thing because that's when a lot of the exercise videos began to come out, and you would wear the tube socks up to your knees, and they would have stripes at the top.
Oh, I know those.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're not very attractive.
No.
I don't know why that ever became a thing, but it did.
Okay, disco dancing.
Oh, yeah. You had the big glitter balls, that would turn, and it would make light shine everywhere.
That started in the 70s?
Yeah, and... staying alive, staying alive.
I do know that. Did you disco dance?
I refuse to answer that question because I may be incriminated, so I'll leave that one as be.
Last one.
Yeah?
8-track player.
Well, that's what I said a few minutes before. Yes, 8-track players. Those look like cassette players, but it looked like a VHS tape.
Oh yeah,
is what they look like, and you had to slide them in, and you could fast forward a little bit, but it was. I think I have just aged myself greatly.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, wow, this is really cool because you have done everything on that list, or you have owned everything on that list.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, those were the things of the 70s. And so, yeah, I did. But you've missed out.
I have.
Who would not want a pet rock?
Thanks for listening to the Quirks, Bumps, and Bruises podcast with Candy and Melody. If you enjoyed the show, please take a moment to subscribe, rate, and share the podcast. You can learn more at joyfm.org.
Try Peas and Carrots podcast for more encouragement. Brian and Kayla share life from their piece of the vegetable patch. Expect a laugh, find common ground, and hear stories you can't wait to share. It's a podcast about doing life together, growing in Christ together, and learning to laugh no matter what comes your way. Search Peas and Carrots podcast wherever you listen to podcasts today. Get quick encouragement on the go with your encouraging 5-minute podcast. It's a weekly dose of encouragement to start your week off right. Search your encouraging 5-minute podcast today.